cover ls cd and then the backward cd. Now moving on, I want to talk about mkdir. Mkdir is short for what? Make directory. So if I say make directory, what does this mean? It means create a new folder. You know, if you want to create folder in your normal, if you want to create a folder in your normal Windows, what will you do? You right click. After right click, you now see new, right? Then new folder. That's the same thing. That's saying make directory. But I don't want to create a new directory here. I'll create a new directory in my desktop. So I'm gonna okay, my desktop is inside my OneDrive. Okay, inside my desktop. I'll create my desktop. So how do I make this directory? So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to list out the files or the folders under Polybyte and see the best place to make a directory. My desktop, right? So let me clear it now and go back to my desktop. So I'm going to say cd desktop, right? Then I think I can make a directory. Now I'm just going to call this, I'm just going to say mkdir, right? That's to make a directory, and I'm going to call it the name of the file. So I'm going to put it, I'm going to say this week 5, right? Or let's just say last class. I'm going to call it last class, but I'm going to put it in quote. Last class, right? And I'm going to click enter. Now, note what it's saying. The saying is has created a new class called last class. Now, if you check here and you check desktop, what are you going to see? You're going to see what a last class has was created. So where is it? So guys, the last class has been created. We did not create this on Windows. We did it on what? On the Linux command, and then it automatically happened. So I'm going to do it again so that I see what I'm trying to say. I'm going to remove it first. RMDIR. As you can see, last class is no longer here. So I want you to look at it. Just watch what happened. So mkdir, I'm going to call it last class. So as you can see, you have what last class. So if I say list now, what do you have? You have last class created. You understand it now? That's what your mkdir is for you. Now I can cd into what? Last class. Now, automatically you should have it. Is it clear? Sorry? mkdir. Again, well, let me do it again for the last time so everybody sees it. If you want to create a new directory or a new folder, you do mkdir, then the folder name that you want to give it, right? So in this case, I want to give it last class. Eh? The reason why it's in quotation is because there is a space. There's a space. If it's like it was joined together, like I don't need quotation. But because there is a space here, I need to make sure that they are all together. So I put the quote and then enter. Automatically, I've created what? A folder named last class. Now I can into what? Last class. You understand it now? So if you check here, last class should now be available. Have you all done it? MK, make. That's mkdir. So now if I list last class out, I don't have anything on that last class because last class is just an empty folder. So similarly, we have RMDIR, right? RMDIR means what? Remove directory. Remove directory or delete folder. The same way you delete your folder. Now, if you want to delete folder, feel like it's more stressful, I'll now come here, click on it, right click, and then it's now I'll now say show more options. Then after that's how to delete, right? But in this, what I have to do is use command. I can just say, oh, I want to delete this particular directory. All I have to do is say rmdir, right? Can you see it? rmdir, and now that's saying last class. Same step. The only thing that is changing is the mk. Now, as you can see, we do not have rm. If I say list, what happens? There is no last class here again. I've now removed it. So that's mkdir and rmdir. Removing directory and creating directory. That's how you do it. Declare to us. It's clear to us. Everybody is writing code. Everybody is logged in. Eh? Okay. I think it's best you share your screen so that everybody. Well, I know that some people online will still have the same issue. So please, I need to share your screen. Now this is it. If you want to create, let's see. One thing I want you to do is you want to create a new. Please let us just use our. If you want to create a new folder in your desktop, where is that? So, understand? That means a new directory in desktop or Linux. That should be inside the web, desktop, and not inside that directory. You understand it now? So it's not the same way. Now, so understand how to use Linux very well. You need to know where your desktop is. Right? Now, this is your phone. This is your now, what is those for me? Every year last class. It will be like pretend last class inside the will be check it out. Last actually most inside of what desktop. Last that you see Okay, so let's see. Now, let's see like this. If you are not, it's never going to work. Okay, so I'm very sure everybody understands this now, and we can move on to the next part. Eh? Eh? Yeah, I wasn't talking, Mr. I was just explaining for every here. All right, you were saying something. Okay, how to delete this thing? That's the RM. I'll explain that now. So the next part is, so we all understand MKDIR now, making directory. What if you want to delete that particular or remove that directory? Have you done it now? All right. So let's say you want to remove that particular directory. How do you remove it? So you use RMDIR again. MKDIR makes the directory or creates folder. RMDIR removes it or delete that particular folder. Now let's say you have so I have last class. Let me do MKDIR again. Now I've done MKDIR, so let me clear this and so we cannot see it. Clear. Now if I say list, what do you have? Just like your own right now, you have what? The last class. Can we just say it? Last class in our desktop. Let's say I don't want this last class here. What I want is to what? Is to put what I want is to add what's the name? Is to remove this last class. I don't want it there. What do I do? I will just do rm dir and I will now say what? Last class. Now can we see? Once I click enter, what happens? Automatically it has removed last class for me. Now if I say list again, you cannot see last class here again. Before you can see last class here, but right here, last class is no longer here. You understand it now? That is one thing about your RMDIR. Mr. David, you have a question? You have to be on that desktop. Yes. From last class. No, because it's just like saying that you are trying to delete last class from last class. There's no last class inside last class. There's only last class inside desktop. You understand it now? So you have to delete it from desktop. So you have to see it. If you're in last class, you have to see it back into desktop to delete it. So now, if you've done that, you've been able to understand your MKDIR, your RMDIR. Now, these are just simple commands. Now, why am I doing this? You might not even do some of these things now, but you need to understand it later, right? You need to understand all of these things later. So, and it is just to prepare you for what's to come in Git. Because you're using your command line a lot in Git, and then you're doing a lot of things under Git. So it is important that you understand this. Now the next command I'll be talking about is touch or new item. Now, on Linux, it is called touch, but there's nothing like touch in on Windows because yes, we are doing Linux, but this is not exactly Linux. This is just like an extension of Linux. You understand it now? So we're going to be using new item to create new files. Now, what does new item mean? New item means that I'm trying to use it to create new files. Now, I've showed you how to create folders, how to create folders. How then you create files? So for instance, you're working on your last class. You open a folder called last class on your VS Code. How do you create an HTML file? How do you create a CSS file or a JavaScript file? This was new item. So I'm going to create that last class again on this desktop. I'm going to say, or instead, I'm going to go into the landing page project. So let's say LS. So LS, I think it should be landing page project. Let's see. I don't have it here. I think it should be inside of my project. Let me say CD projects. Let me say LS. Now I think I have it here. I still don't have it here. Landing page project. Come, let me check where I have it. The landing page should be under where? Send. Tech Edu classes should be under Tech Edu classes. So I'm going to go back again to my desktop and I'm going to cd into what Tech Edu project. Sorry, Tech Edu classes. Now I think my landing page is here. Now let me say I want to go into my landing page now. CD landing page. Now if I list it out, what do I have? Can you see the same thing that I have in my index of HTML? Now let's look at it. Now in my landing page, I have what? Assets, app.js, index of HTML, and style.css. Now can you see the same thing? Same thing here. And it is even telling me the amount of characters that I have. In my HTML, I have 1,849 characters or words. Then my CSS, 4,033 characters. It's just telling me that. Now, let's say I want to create a new file called script.js. You know, I can just come here and I can create my new file here and I can say script.js, right? Good. Now, but let us do that with my Linux command. All I have to do is say new item, right? I can now say script.js. Yeah, JS. Now, what has just happened? I've created script.js. Now, if you come back here, can you see script.js? How do you see it? Exactly. So that is how it works on Linux. I shall explain it again. One of which folder? Uh, if you notice, where did I see it in landing page? The folder that has all the files. I did not see it into any of those files or the folder. It is the folder that have all the files. That's what you did. Share your screen. Scroll it up. Please click on hide. I can see it, but click on hide so that I can see your screen. Can you see the hide? Eh? It's just bottom this place that is saying stop sharing and hide. I can see you. Okay, I can see it now. So what I'm saying is, yes, you're on class 3 project, right? Now that class 3 project, is that where your landing page is? Okay, good. Please click on LS now. Sorry, press LS. Good. Now can I see images? Let's say you want to create app.js. What you would do is you press new item, then app.js. And that new item, N is capital letter. N is capital letter. New item. No, item, hyphen. There's an hyphen between the item and the new and the item. Like a dash, rather. No, a dash between new and I. No. I just dash hyphen, yeah. Exactly. New item, then app.js. App.js. New item app.js. Like app, like mobile app.js. .js. Now, this means that what you've created a JavaScript file. If you click enter now, what happens? It works. You've created a JavaScript file. Now, if you do ls now, do ls. Now, can you see app.js? Now, go back to your VS Code and check it. Now, can you see the app.js? You did not create it yourself and on your VS Code. You created it on a terminal and then it automatically works. Is it working for you? Is it working for you now, Mr. Gochi? I'm going to do it again. Let me share my screen. Let me do it again. Yes. Yeah. It did not work. You have to use capital N. Yes. Let me share it again. Let me share my screen so I can do it again. I need everybody to just look at it. Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen now? Let me do it again so everybody can see it. I'm going to remove that J, that my own, so everybody can see it. All right. Now, can you see that I do not have script.js again? Now, let me say I want to put script.js. How will I do it? All I have to say is do new item, new, capital N, then item. Can you see it? And I will now go ahead and say script.js. That's all. Once I press enter, automatically I've created script.js. Now, if I list it out, now what do you see? You can see what? The script.js right here. I use that thing. See it? No, the code. No, you don't need it because your script and JS are not separated. They are together. If it was, let me say, new item now, and I want to say new script.js, right? What would I do? New script.js. Can you see it now? This makes more sense. So if you check it out now, you have what? New script.js. You understand it now? So that is, but this time around, I'm not using, there's no space there, and there's no space here. I cannot say script.js automatically works. So it's working now, have you? Good. So now that is how to create a file. How to create a file. Now how to delete it is simple. Just say rm, then the name of the file. So let's say I want to delete script.js. I'll just say script.js. That's all. List it out, it's no longer there. You know, to remove a directory is what? RMDIR. But to remove a file is what? RM. Again, removing a directory is RMDIR. Removing a file is just what? RM. Now, that is basically everything that you need to know in Linux. Now, there are some ones that I still think you should know, which is your MV and CP. MV is what? Move files. While CP is to copy them, copy files. So for instance, if I want to move app.js now into assets, how do I do it? I drag and drop, right? So how do I now use this thing to move files in Linux? That's an assignment. How do I copy files? How do I duplicate files? It's an assignment. You can go ahead. I've tried now. Out of how many? Like 8 or 9. I did almost 7. I don't try. So clear. So if you notice something, right? When I have like a full this thing, once I just write clear, what happens? It will automatically remove that first one. So it clears it just to have a clean, just have it like a clean board. Now, Linux is not like your normal Windows that once you clear, you remove the other. No, it just continues. Like I said, if I say cd dot dot, this one that's at the top here no longer has meaning. This one that is at the top here no longer has meaning. It's useless. Right? So it does not matter if I clear it or I leave it. It's now useless. If I say list, all these ones here like this, they are not useless. The important one is now the next one on the next line. So if I clear it out, it is not affecting the other ones. They are still continuing. It's just like continuation stuff. You understand it now? And move. Yes, MV and CP. How will you do it? Eh? I don't know. If I tell you, I'll give you the answer. I want everybody to just go ahead, try it out. Use Google, use YouTube, just research on it. So MV and CP. Eh? Okay, so what I want you to go ahead and read on is MV and CP. You know what? I will do it. There's a reason how to do it. The reason how to do it is because our next topic is Git commands. We're supposed to do it today. I just said, okay, let me just still give us some of these things so that you can familiarize yourself with your terminal. Like I said, in the next 1 week, we're only going to be dealing with the terminal. So familiarize yourself with this terminal. So what I'm going to do is, I want you to go ahead and study these basic Git commands. I expect everybody to come on Monday and everybody is telling me, oh, this is what Git init means. This is what Git commit. This is what Git push means. I want everybody to go ahead and read on this Git command, read on it, practice, spoil things, spoil your project. Yes. The thing is that if you not spoil it, you probably will. I'm not saying you should not spoil it intentionally, but just practice it, do a lot of things. Then on Monday, I'm expecting everybody to come and give me some. If you need, I will even drop a tutorial today on Git command. I will drop it today. Everybody should at least try. This is the weekend. Just try and watch it and understand how it works. That's it. So that's why I'm going to do this MV and CP. So it's not be as if I'm giving us 2 assignments. So please watch this. Now, what does MV and CP mean? MV means move. You're moving a particular file, or you're moving a particular, you're not moving file or folders, right? Now, let's say I want to move app.js from the landing page to where? Into assets. What will I do? Now, I already know that ls. Okay, let me see into landing page again. I already know that my app.js is inside my web landing page. Now, if I want to move it into assets, what will I do? All I have to say is what? MV app.js. Now, where am I moving it to? Assets, right? I'll just do assets. Simple. Now, if I list it out again, can you see app.js here? No. But if I see the assets and I list assets, now can you see app.js in assets now? Exactly. So if you check here now, you can no longer see app.js here, but here. You understand? What if I want to move it back into landing page? Still the same thing. Now I'm inside assets, right? I can move app.js into a landing page. Okay, it has to be in quotes because landing page is a landing page. Now, if I list it out now, it will no longer be here. But if I cd back into landing page and I list it out, what do you have? Okay. Oh, there's a problem. Sorry, I made a mistake here. So now, do you notice that there is no app.js here again? Do you notice it? Eh? Now, but it is still not in this landing page. Good. What do you notice in the assets here? It created another file or folder in the landing page. So let's check it out. Let's come here. So if I open assets now, what do you see here? Landing page. So now automatically my app.js has been deleted, but it now created a what? A landing page for me. So let me delete it. Now that's, you see how Linux can be very crazy because of a simple mistake. So imagine that my app.js had a lot of things that were on it. What will happen? It's gone. Now let me create the app.js again inside of the assets. And let us move it back to the landing page. Now I'll show you how to move it back into the landing page. So cd assets. Now let us create, let's say, new item, app.js. Now, if I list it now, it's now back there, app.js. Now let me clear. So start from the beginning. Now let me move it back into what landing page. So all I have to do is say mv app.js. Now I now have to specify that, oh, what I'm trying to do is I'm moving it back to where? To landing page. So I'm going to do dash / then what? Landing page. Oh, sorry. In quotes. It's going to be here. I think it should be from here. Now, if I cd back into the place now and I list it out, can you see app. Why is it creating a new system for me? That's a problem. It is creating. No, I'm moving it back from assets to landing page. Problem now is that it is creating a file for me rather than just trying to even just a moment. Landing page. Okay, you know what? We can just do something like this, right? So let me cd into assets. Now I'm going to create app.js again. How to work this time? Item app.js. So it's going to work now. It's going to work now. Now app.js is inside our assets now. Let's say you want to move it to landing page. To move it to landing page, all I have to just do is what? mv app.js, right? Dot. Now, you know, if I say cd dot, what happens? It changes, moves back, right? That dot means that is moving back. Now, if I hit enter, what happens? I have now automatically moved app.js back into landing page. So if I say cd dot and I say ls, can you see app.js now? That's exactly what happened. Do you understand what else happened? So instead of trying to specify the file, if the file has not been created yet, it is going to automatically create a new file. So instead of doing that, just specify the direction. So you're moving back, just say dot move back. Now, if I want to copy app.js into assets, now how will I do it? I think we should get the idea now. If I want to copy app.js into assets, exactly. no app.js into where? Assets. Now, if I list it out, it is still here, but if I still go back to assets and I list it out, so now also be here because I did what I copied it. Now, do we understand this Linux command now? Is it clear to us? Now, everybody can go ahead and try it. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. You can't get it back. It's gone. It's gone. So you can't get it back. So, no, there's no recycle thing. The recycle bin, it's better for you to, you have to be very, very careful. There's actually a recycle bin, but it's hard to get. So you have to start looking for where recycle bin is in your own system. So you understand how hard that is. But you have to just have to be careful while writing codes generally in Linux. That's why I'm not going to encourage writing codes in Linux. You have your PS code. I'm just explaining this to you, just so you familiarize yourself with the command line. Familiarize yourself with the command line, and then it's easier to write it. It's working, Abby. Yeah. Yeah. So move it back. So let's say you. Okay. Good. So now that's just everything about command line. I hope everybody understands, especially those online. I've not been able to like get or hear from anybody yet. Do you understand this, Mr. Shegun? Okay, here. Mr. Shegun, Mr. Pius, and Mr. Esusa. I hope this is clear. Please, is this clear? Is it clear to everybody? Ah, there is no response from Mr. Shegun, Mr. Esusa. Okay, so without any more delay, I think that'll be all for today's class. Um, please